morning, good afternoon, good evening, space-time dimensions, wherever you find yourself. I'm Dr. Kevin Drina, and I'm just tuning in today because I wanted to share a concept about some of the things that I do, but every human, that means your body needs to maintain integrity, to maintain optimal performance, and to be your best. And so today, we're going to be talking about advanced biostructural correction. And before we get into that topic, I want to share with you, let me turn down the music just a little bit. I want to share with you about a question, and then we'll take we'll take a little turn around, the scenic route, and we'll get back to the point at hand. So do you agree or disagree? Let's start the things off right here. And pull up the proper thing here. Do you disagree that the healing is based on these following simple truths? I'm going to go through this quickly, you can go back and forth in time and reverse and rewatch this. So, number one, the body is self-healing, self-regulating. Do you agree or disagree? And I have a thought for you. So, what happens if you cut yourself? Well, does it, versus a corpse, does it get better? Well, how about self-regulating? Let's look at that. Heart, liver, kidneys, spleen, stomach, pancreas, your body's temperature. That's self-regulating. So do you agree or disagree that your body's self-regulating? Well, if so, then you're in the right space, right time, right place. And I have a little new feature I want to test out before we get into the actual content. And I want to say hello. I just pulled this chap and I said hello, and I'm looking at see how this works. If you'd like to chat live, let me know. Give me some feedback real quick. I'm sizing it up right now as we speak, and I just pull the whole thing up. Say hello, and let me know where you are in the world. I'm in New Jersey right now. Turn on the volume movie, and boy, let's get started. I'm in New Jersey. Where are you in the world? And say hello, introduce yourself. I have clients, I have customers, I have friends all over the world, and definitely here in the United States. We'll pull that back up in just a few moments. But we're talking about structure. And there's a common theme when people are looking to, well, fix their body. It's kind of like a Russian roulette. It's a crapshoot. We don't know what we're getting. We don't know what works, what's reliable, what's predictable. Now, there's numerous factors, and so I'll talk about those numerous factors right here in just a moment. But my job is known as a chiropractor. Okay. However, we work with three main areas of the body. I'm going to fast forward to the slideshow so you can see what I'm talking about. We have three main areas of the body. We have our physical body, we have our mental, emotional body, and then the biochemistry part, the chemistry of life. So how do we get there? How do we get to that spot? Well, there's that concept, the concept that we started with about agreeing or disagreeing. Okay, concept of is based on this simple truth: the body's self-healing and self-regulating. So we asked the question about cutting yourself versus cutting a course. Well, of course, the answer is you heal, you get better automatically. Now, there's some things you want to have some basic awareness of, keeping the dirt out, keeping it clean, drying it out, things of this nature. But everyone knows if you cut a corpse, you cut a piece of steak, it doesn't get better. So self-regulating, we know all the body parts are automatically doing things without our conscious control. So part two to this whole story is, well, what regulates all this? What it connects all these things? Well, it's the brain and the spinal cord, and they control and coordinate the function of all the cells and tissues and organs in the body to adapt. That's you. You're the organism here. It adapts you to your environment. It's sunny outside. It's hot outside. You don't necessarily go, oh, let's put my snowsuit on, right? You dress accordingly. Your body adapts and cools down accordingly. If it gets too hot, you sweat. However, if there's a breakdown in that mechanism, well, then you overheat, and there's problems with that. So is there anything the nervous system does not control or regulate? No. The answer is no. We literally live our eyes through our nervous system. Brain extends out to the environment through our senses, and when we have our five senses and more. However, if there's interference with those systems, and there's a term for that in my world, it's called subluxation. It's a big multi-syllable word. You cannot function at 100% capacity. So longer that interference is there, longer that subluxation is there, more present, devastating the effects are to the health and well-being. Your performance drops in different areas. So my job is to locate, analyze, and release the cause of the subluxation, basically allowing your body to process it as it normally would, adapting to your environment so you can level up, which allows you to enjoy life. As simple as that slide. So we got here, the problem is stress. There's 3 kinds of stress. And so today we're going to be talking about structure. And my job is to locate along the structural integrity. Now, this where it gets rich. So hang on there. This is where it gets rich. It shows you ways not to create the problems, okay? So when we talk about correcting the subluxation, correcting the pattern, and this is a book I wrote about the mental connections to our physical body. However, when it gets to the pattern of things, this is the concept I want to talk about here when it comes to the structure that has to do with the ABC technique. And I'm gonna show you a little bit more here in the actual video. And now I'm not going to play the video. It is available on my YouTube channel, but I want you just to get some ideas here, and let's see if we can just do it. So we all seen this kind of picture. We've all seen this kind of picture. Turn the music down for the actual study part. So let me bring it back here. Let me say hello again before we get into the deep dive material. Now, there's these concepts that play out in our physical body, play out in our life, and when we get the pattern of how these things work, it's easier to see why things go wrong. It's easier to see how to fix things. And without this basic training, without these basic insights, we're left to make decisions without proper knowledge. We're left just guessing. And in the nature of physical correction, well, there's been some discoveries in the recent past that change everything. Change everything. Change everything I was taught. Oh, we had a little freeze moment there. Hopefully we'll get it back. Oh, we're back. We got a little freeze moment there. Sorry about that. Well, so there are. Where are we here? There we are. There's some general concepts that we must understand. And when we see them in this new way, because these new discoveries, when we have new discoveries, well, we have better information to make better decisions and better choices. Got the alert. That's the energy alert. Like what's happening right now, that's a different topic, different day, different story. But here we are. Well, when it comes to our muscles, and they are regulated by our brain, and our muscles attach to the bone. So there's a 3-way situation going on here between our brain and the nervous system, the communication networks, how the muscles respond, the path of those networks of communication, because there's more than one way information gets to the muscles. However, that's for a different lecture. But today, right now, we're talking about different layers of the body. So there's different layers of muscles on top of underneath each other, and you get into the actual deep anatomy. There's 5 major layers, right? However, we get to this structure, this foundation, the spine and skeleton. Right? We've all seen this, and we're going to highlight a specific segment. And here's the major concept that's new for the world that hasn't caught on yet, and it has to do with our posture. And let's see, I'll just flash this picture right here. It has to do with our posture, which is our structure. And the posture and the structure self-correct. We know this happens. However, it only can self-correct in the direction a muscle is attached. And when it comes to the spine, there's no muscle. See this? Yes.
Happens all the way up.
Oh, excuse me. There's no muscle that attaches straight backwards. Now, although it looks like this picture, but where would it attach? What pulls a muscle forward and backward? Excuse me, what pulls a bone forward and backward? So this is the major concept in this knowledge of,
And you could
oh my,
see it
excuse
affects.
me, in this knowledge of advanced biostructural correction. There's certain bones that can only be self-corrected in certain directions. And if that bone is stuck in a direction where it cannot be self-corrected, well, then the bone is stuck there unless some outside force happens to hit it and knock it back into the balance. However, there's a repeatable, reliable, predictable methodology of identifying and then helping facilitate the shift of the bone back into its proper balance. And I'll drop the link. Yes, I'll drop the link into. Here is the ABC full video. I suggest watching the first 16 minutes is the first basic insights and introduction. I'll write that too. Right, I'll type it in. Watch the first 16 minutes. I'll drop that right in there right now. And in that first 16 minutes, you'll get the basic concepts and understanding of why our posture gets stuck. And part of the reason why there's unpredictable, reliable results in other areas of body healthcare. And I guess what I'm getting at is the technique conversation, right? What technique is better than the other? Is there one way to skin the cat better than the other? Well, maybe. That's not a good analogy. I don't like that analogy. It's harmful to cats. Excuse me on that one. But is there more than one way to build this out to help understand to get to the result that we want that's more effective, more efficient, more reliable, more predictable? Well, yes, the answer is yes. In the first 10 years of my professional career, I was highly frustrated with certain kinds of physical body issues. Now, I've come to find out, just as I was sharing, go back to this. There's more than one cause to why we have physical breakdown. Okay, because the mental emotional stresses we know have an impact on our physical body parts. And there's the level that you already know, but there's concepts and patterns that you're unaware of that affect you. And the biochemistry, we all know food and chemicals impact us for good or for bad. And there's nuances to that are available in only certain circles of knowledge. And that's the challenge. We've been taught that some knowledge only is found in, how do I say this? We've been taught an outside in perspective of how the body works and is repaired. And we also been taught and led to believe that there's better living only through chemistry. That's a fallacy. So let's see. So we are live, and I am just laying out some basic concepts. So what all this is about is wanting to provide a more well-rounded understanding of what it takes to work on optimal potential in your life, to be your best version of yourself, to move well, think well, sleep well, feel well, all those things. And what's that give you? It gives you the um, day by day enjoyments. Can you walk? Can you run? Can you jump? Can you pick up your grandkids? Can you? Well, I'm working with younger athletes, a few younger athletes right now, and I'm working with moms, and I'm working with business people that want to be better in their life. Yes, we all have aches and pains and things that we have issues with. How do we overcome them? How do we achieve the highest potential in our physical abilities? Well, that is about the major meat of today's discussion. I wanted to go live. I've been going live Wednesdays at 12 noon for almost 3 years now. Close to 3 years. And I've been doing a program called Synergy Solutions. You can find that information right there on the website scrolling below. And we've shifted that to 1 p.m. So I'll be going live a little bit later today at 1 p.m. Though we are also having a workshop, a educational experiential workshop. And I am, let's see, um, have a little closing segment for you describing that. And this is where I get to teach you much of the knowledge I've gained over the last 20 plus years in the art of body correction and how the mind, the body, the being, um, which contains so much. There's so much conversation in that. But we're teaching methods of becoming your own healer. And how does that work? Well, I'll dive in a little bit more. I'll play the close and join us live and so live in person and virtual live on in a closed webinar on Zoom, and we'll be teaching people the techniques of how to go about. Well, I wrote down the bullet point list of what we're going through, what we're going over. But we are energy, and understanding that, and understanding how that applies in your day-by-day life, and then how to work with that, how to communicate with that to get the results that you desire, because there is a path for that, and the path is above down, inside out, adio, as it's said in circles I like to visit. So thank you for joining in. Ask a question, comment, connect, drkeving.com. Support, we're 100% independent, helping people be their best self. Blessings and best regards.
If you're someone who's into personal growth, if you're someone who's into helping your body heal naturally, if you're wanting to avoid medications and procedures and fulfill from the inside out, nurture yourself from the inside out of what your body needs, then the Becoming Your Own Healing course is for you. What I'm teaching is doctorate level techniques found in the natural holistic healing world, and I've got permission to share the insights and inspirations that I've received because I'm teaching within some of my circles and also bring that out to the public. Now, who is this being given to? Who has been using these techniques already? Well, these are chiropractors, osteopaths, massage therapists, craniosacral therapists, acupuncturists, osteopathic doctors, dentists, eye specialists. There's a whole range of healing and health professionals, and even medical doctors are starting to trickle into some of our circles as far as understanding what we're talking about. What are we talking about? Our body has a natural wisdom within. It's the same forces that powers your heart to beat, that helps the pancreas and the spleen and the kidneys and the appendix and the adrenal glands, all the organs of your body. They're kept in concert, they're kept in a rhythm, and there's something in your life within you that you don't have conscious control over. Yet you can build a conscious bridge to communicate with this force within us. And this is what Becoming Your Healer is about. So if you're suffering with health issues, if you're suffering with mental emotional concerns, if you're wanting to be your best version of yourself, if you're wanting to perform at a higher level, if you're wanting to help yourself heal and get over the concerns from some things in the past or worries about the future, this is the technique. This is a class for you. So regardless of where you are on the spectrum, regardless of the technique you want to apply, we need a system to help us communicate with the vibrational, with the frequencies, with the non-spoken communication that is life. Now that sounds confusing. If that conversation doesn't make sense to you, vibration, frequency, energy, what we're talking about is the science of quantum physics. This is what Einstein, Tesla, these gentlemen were steeped in understanding and knowing. Max Planck. There's so many amazing names that have been the forefathers of these scientists more than 100 years ago. In fact, I believe some of this has been rooted for ages, thousands of years, stored in the form of story within our native cultures around the world. And now, with the technology that we've been able to advance to, we are actually measuring some of these things, where before it was all just hocus pocus. Well, that is untrue. These are forces that we have some cooperative coordination with. And I needed to develop the skill to learn to work with it. And that's what I'm offering you today. Keep the dream alive. The vision is right there. You can do it. I have total faith that it's within you. And now my job is to help you manifest it to your reality. I'm Dr. Kevin Jarina. Thanks for tuning in.